Hey, good morning, everyone. Welcome to this golf presentation. I appreciate you guys jumping on early. I know it is quite early on a Saturday morning. For those that don't know me, my name's Amrit Rai. I'm the owner of Platform Sports, and today I'm going to be taking you through how it looks for a student athlete that wants to play golf in America. In this webinar, I'm going to go through how the NCAA works, the NAIA, the junior college system. We're going to take you through some tours of different types of facilities in America. So we've got some videos for you. And then we can also share with you how we work with athletes like yourselves and families like yourselves as well. This is being recorded. So if you forget anything, do not worry. I will send you a recorded version right after this live webinar. And also on the right-hand side, you'll see there's a little chat box up the top right. Feel free to put in any questions during this webinar and I can answer them for you. If at the end of this webinar you want to have a meeting with myself, all you got to do is click that link and book a meeting with me. I do tend to get booked out being the owner of the company pretty quickly. So if you want an appointment, I would do that sooner rather than later. But anyway, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to share my screen. Hopefully this works. And hopefully we don't have any technical issues today. Alrighty, let's get started. Cool. Before I start, can you guys just comment yes if you can see the screen Platform Sports, please? Just in the chat box. If you can just type in the word yes, that would be great. So if you go to the right-hand side, thank you. Fantastic. So we can all see that. That's brilliant. Because sometimes when I switch out of the screen, I can only see the screen that I'm going to be talking about. So I don't want to be talking it to myself for the next hour. Okay, cool. So again, this is my booking link here, but you've got it in the chat. Again, so my name's Amrit. I founded the company 10 years ago. Myself, I've secured over 100 million in scholarship aid for student athletes. I come from a big sporting family, so my family are a bunch of golfers. I had a few cousins that were going through Q school recently, tennis players as well. My younger brother's the number one tennis player in New Zealand. I played a lot myself, and also soccer players. I grew up in a small town called New Plymouth, which I know most of you probably have played at the New Plymouth Golf Club or the Namutu Golf Club. That was my local club. And I went to Victoria University in Wellington. I actually never went to America. The reason why I didn't go to America was because when I was in my senior year in high school, which was 2010, no one gave me this conversation. And being in New Plymouth, we were very isolated from information regarding overseas experiences. So I decided to attend Victoria University in Wellington, did a business degree. When I was 21, someone gave me the idea to start an agency. And I said, well, why not? So when I was 22, I registered the company, and here we are 10 years later. We've supported over 2,000 athletes going through the college process. We've worked with some top golfers in New Zealand, including Zach Swanwick, Jackie Jung, Kayla Van Der Ven, Logan Hooper, Connor Barker, Henry Wang, et cetera, et cetera. So we've worked with quite a few golfers and helping them with their college placements in the US. We've hosted USA college events in New Zealand as well. We had, Washington State, University of Washington, Idaho. They all came to New Zealand to recruit at our events. And I work with a lot of coaches throughout New Zealand. So we've had a partnership with coaches like Kevin Smith, Marcus Wheelhouse, who coaches Ryan Fox. And we also work with a lot of schools throughout New Zealand, like Westlake Boys High, Wellington College, Scots College, etc. And we are their trusted college providers. So if you got any questions, feel free to reach out. We are trusted and respected amongst the community. We got an office in Newmarket. We've also got an office in the Gold Coast in Australia as well. So we're working with lots of golfers over there. And if there's anything that you need, just feel free to ask us. We're happy to help out. When you're going to college, so you finish high school, and then you're wanting to look at an American university, which they call college, there's three different reasons why people want to go to the US. Maybe some athletes are a bit more focused to go for a bachelor's or a master's, and that's why they're going to America for like an academic reason. Some of them just want to go for an overseas experience. Some of them want to go for a professional pathway. So for an example, Zach Swanwick in New Zealand has done very well. He was a New Zealand golf prodigy. He won the under-18 Australian amateur title a couple of years ago. and now he's at University of Florida on a full scholarship, which is the number 5 ranked program in the entire country. It's massive. They just finished and got to the semifinals of the NCAA Division One championship. For context for that school, Ian Poulter plays on the Live Tour. He sends his son to play college golf with Zach as well. So Zach wants to go pro. All the boys want to go pro in their team. That's why he wants to go to college, and he wants to use the facilities and the resources and the experiences of playing different courses to build him up over 4 years and then go pro. Then we get some other athletes that purely just want to go for academic reasons. So we've had golfers like Connor Barker, for example, who was a really good golfer, went for the overseas experience and pro pathway, but academics was really important to him. So that's why he chose his school. Then we get some other athletes that want to go just for the overseas experience and play in a different country, meet some people, make some friends, but can come back to New Zealand after 4 years with a degree, hardly paying anything, but having friends all over the world because he's gone to a school that's quite international. So like Henry Wang that went to a Division One school in Texas, that's kind of like what he wanted to do. So everyone's kind of got their different reason on why they want to go to the US. In America, there's 3 different sporting organizations. There's the NCAA, the NAIA, and the NJCAA. Again, these are sporting governing bodies that look after different groups of universities in America. There are 4,000 universities, or just under 4,000 universities in the United States. And these 3 groups here look after a majority of those universities. The biggest sporting association is called the NCAA. It was founded in the early 1900s because no one was regulating sport within the American university system back in the early 1900s. And what was happening is kids were spending too much time competing in their sports, so their grades were dropping down. It wasn't monetized. People were watching all of these sports events for free. Also, there was a lot of medical issues, especially in American football, where kids would get concussions, but there was no medical rules on how long they had to wait before they could play again. The coach would just throw them back out there. So there was a number of negative things happening in the college system. So the NCAA came together and said, all right, we're going to provide rules and structure. We want to make sure that we can charge people ticket sales, make advertising campaigns, and make all of this revenue that we can generate it back into the college system. And once we make this money, we're going to pay coaches, build athletic facilities, finance their tours to different universities. We're going to put in academic rules that students must follow. We're going to put in recruiting rules that college coaches must follow, and also rules that coaches must follow in general, not just in recruiting athletes, but just how many hours they can spend a day with the athletes, what the team GPAs need to be, and all of these kind of things. So the NCAA has got 1,200 universities within its structure, and it's sliced into 3 divisions. Division One is the biggest group of universities. So to become a Division One member, they just need to finance at least 7 men's sports and 7 women's sports. They've got between 15,000 to 60,000 students on campus. Division Two colleges just need to finance 5 men's sports and 5 women's sports. They've got between 3,000 to 15,000 students on campus. Division Three colleges are the smallest group of universities. They've got between 1,000 to 10,000 students on campus. Now, Division One and Division Two and Division Three are all 4-year universities, just like Auckland University or Victoria University or Canterbury, etc. So you go there, you get a degree. Now, Division One universities, because they're bigger, they've got slightly better facilities. They've got a little bit more money to spend on scholarships than what the NCAA does. The reason why is because of Division One, this division here, they've got American football stadiums which are bigger than Eden Park in Auckland. And these are kids that are 18 to 22 years old playing in front of these crowds. Some of the soccer stadiums seat like 7,000 to 12,000 people. So when you purchase a ticket to go watch these sporting events, whether it's baseball, American football, etc., that money goes back into the university and the NCAA. They can continue to keep building these facilities, which then attract the better athletes, the higher paid coaches. For example, when Zach was at University of Florida last semester, because he's just finished, quite often they'll take a private jet, which is funded by the athletic department. So This over here is quite a big system, which attracts a lot of the higher ranked athletes. Division 2 colleges are a little bit smaller. So a Division 2 school has got 5 men's sports, 5 women's sports, smaller classroom sizes. So they do have academic scholarships and sports scholarships, but athletically, when I mean athletically, that's just the word I use for sport. That's what the Americans use. It doesn't mean, I know New Zealand athletics means track and field, but that's not the case in the US. But in America, the Division 2 size colleges, they have got slightly less funding than the Division 1 system. However, there are still some unbelievable Division 2 universities in America, and some of these universities, I would prefer to go to them over Division 1 colleges. For example, I would rather go to Palm Beach Atlantic University, which is a Division 2 school in West Palm, Florida. Beautiful area. It's on Billionaire Mile, great location, lots of nice golf courses around the area as well, than going to a Division 1 program in the middle of nowhere, which takes 3 flights to get to, nowhere near the beach, nowhere near a big city. It's just a big university on a block of land. So you have to take that into consideration when you are looking at Division 1 and Division 2 colleges. The Division 3 system, they have got high profile private schools. Now, that Division 3 system does not provide any sports scholarships. Only Division 1 and Division 2 colleges do. The reason why is because they're too smaller of a program where they've got limited amount of students on campus. They don't have the means to charge tickets to then generate all of this revenue, etc. Now, Division 1, 2, and 3, as mentioned, is not based on the sporting ability or the academic ability of the university. It's purely based on the size of the school. So to back that statement up, Division 3 has got MIT, NYU, John Hopkins. We've actually got a tennis player from Lebanon that's currently doing medicine at John Hopkins University. He had Division 1 offers and Division 2 offers, and he turned them down to go to a Division 3 program. Why he wanted to do that? Because this was really important to him. Academics was more important to him than anything else. So it's really important to, when you're looking at the divisions, just know in your mind that yes, Division 1 is great. They got the Stanfords, they got the UCLAs, etc. But if your goals academically, do not write off Division 3, because if you do well academically in high school, you still can get academic scholarships, which can subsidize the cost substantially and have a really good experience over there. Now, in Division 2, even though it's a slightly smaller university, we're still talking 5 to 15,000 students. That's still a big school compared to, if you can imagine what your child is going to high school in right now, you can put a multiplier and you can kind of get a feel for what kind of size we're talking about here. Now, my brother plays tennis. In tennis, there's a thing called Davis Cup, where every country's got their top four tennis players that play in their team, their national team, and they play against other countries. So Rafael Nadal would play for Spain, Novak Djokovic would play for Serbia, Roger Federer played for Switzerland, and so on. So in the New Zealand Davis Cup team, we had my brother as a player. We had Finn Reynolds. Finn Reynolds went to a school called Ole Miss that was Division 1. We have Jack Loughton. Jack Loughton has done extremely well. He's debuted for New Zealand only last year. He's currently at University of Kentucky, which is a Division 1 school. He's actually one of my clients. The fourth spot went to a guy named KP. Now, we have got 35 current Division 1 tennis players in the college system right now, but KP went to a Division 2 school. So just because KP went to a Division 2 school does not make him a bad tennis player. When I asked KP why he wanted to go to a Division 2 school, he said he just wanted to go to a smaller campus. He didn't want to go to a lecture room that's got 300 students. He wanted to go to a lecture room or where it's got a smaller classroom size. So again, it's about the right fit. So the whole point of me explaining this is that you don't fall into the trap of talking to too many people that are your peers and saying, oh, I'm just going to go to Division 1, but not actually knowing why. Always think, what is your child's goal and what they want to achieve, and then work backwards on how they can get there. That's how we do it with all of our clients. Now, the NAIA system is another sporting organization. The NCAA was put in place around like the early 1900s. The NAIA was around the 1970s. So they're a smaller organization that provides sports scholarships to four-year universities. They're split into two divisions. However, for golf in America, they've only got one division. The biggest difference is that they're the similar size of Division 3 and a Division 2 college, and they've got quite a lot of sports scholarships available. There's some fantastic universities in the NAIA system. There's also easier academic requirements to get into the NAIA system versus the NCAA. So if you want to go play at UCLA, you got to graduate from high school, get a 2.3 out of 4 GPA, and you got to complete 16 core subjects, which are approved by the NCAA from year 9 to year 13, or if you're in Australia watching this, from year 9 to year 12. And in the NAIA system, you just need to graduate high school, get a 2.0 out of 4 GPA, and no core subjects. That's it. So you don't have to do any core subjects. So we have got a golfer named Brandon Brooker. He's at Kaiser University, which is in West Palm, Florida. It's spelled Keiser, Kaiser University. If you type on Google Kaiser University golf facilities, you'll see what I'm talking about. It is an unbelievable school. They are in the NAIA system, even though they technically could go Division 1 if they wanted to and change, but they're happy not offering the core subjects as a requirement to students, making it an easier way for athletes to get in. They've got a very high academic standing. They've got great facilities, great resources, a highly ranked golf team. So some athletes that may not do those 16 core subjects can only go here. It doesn't mean that the talent pool is bad. Maybe they just decided to go to Q school and they weren't going to high school at all, and they're trying to go onto the pro tour. It didn't work out, and now they want to use college as a stepping stone again. So because they haven't done 4 years of English, 3 years of math, 2 years of sciences, which are these 16 core subjects, they go into the NAIA system. So again, it's a great university system. You can start there, finish there in 4 years. It follows the exact same academic calendar as the NCAA, which the calendar goes August to December, January to May. That's 1 year. So they follow the exact same timeline as well. It's just easier eligibility requirements to get into these, or lesser eligibility requirements, I should say. Then you've got a junior college system. A junior college is a 2-year community college. It's built there for 2 reasons. One, your family needs a big scholarship for you guys to send your child, or for you to go to America and compete. Maybe you don't have the right tournament scores, so maybe you're still shooting around 82, 80, 85, but you can't afford the price tag of these 4-year schools. Now, if you're shooting in the low 70s, you're going to get a lot of money. But if you're shooting in like the high 70s, you're going to be paying something like maybe 15 grand for the year USD if you're shooting around like 77 to 78. But if you're shooting like around 77 to 78 or above and you can't afford 15,000 US, you can go to a junior college. It's a diploma. So let's say you want to do a business degree. You'd go to a junior college. It follows the exact same academic calendar as a 4-year school. So same calendar as UCLA, Stanford, Texas Tech, all of those schools. But you only go there for 2 years. And you do a diploma in business for year 1 and year 2. Once you get your diploma after 2 years, you can cross-credit everything over to UCLA and do year 3 and year 4. And your degree is not devalued in any way, shape, or form. It is still as credible. It's just a different pathway. And it's built there as a safety net for a lot of athletes. So if you need a big time scholarship and you can't afford 15,000 US dollars and you are shooting above 77, then you can go to a junior college. You could probably pay anything between 5,000 to 12,000 USD, and it's a lot more cheaper. And that covers your tuition, accommodation, food, all of your golf expenses, etc. The works. And you go play there for 2 years, you improve your resume, you get that tournament average down slightly, and then you can revalue your profile and then go and get offers at 4-year schools and transfer after 2 years. The best analogy I can give you guys here is if you want to have the best house in the best street, but you don't have the money for it, buy a house in a different area, renovate it, and then let it go up in value, and then go again. That's what the junior college strategy is for. So for athletes that don't have the CV to get a huge amount of scholarship, they can go there for 2 years, develop over 2 years. All the tournament results are recorded. You can build your CV, and then you can transfer all of your academic credits over and all of your golf results over and continue to compete at a 4-year program. And we've done it many times for student athletes. Maybe this is for athletes as well that don't do the right academic requirements to get into a 4-year university. You can go here for 2 years. After 2 years, as soon as you've got that diploma, you're good to go. And then you can do year 3 and year 4 at a 4-year school. So this is what your 4-year plan could look like. You can go to a Division 1 school for 4 years. You can go to a Division 2 school for 2 years and then transfer to a Division 1 school for year 3 and year 4. You can go to an NAIA school in year 1 and then go into the NCAA in year 3 and year 4, or you can go junior college for 2 years and then go to Division 1, 2, and NAIA as well for year 3 and year 4. It's very fluid. You can always transfer within schools. There used to be rules on how many times you can transfer. Now it's pretty open-ended. It's a bit more flexible. And if I'm a college coach, if I'm the Stanford coach, for example, and I see an athlete that's coming out of high school, but then I see an athlete that's just as good, that's in America for 2 years, that wants to come to my program, I'm probably going to look at that person first. Why? They've got their visa. There's a bit more credibility in their results because I've been playing in a familiar environment going forward. So again, it's all about the 4-year play. You want to make sure that you can position yourself in a good environment so you can continue to develop and grow. 70% of the reasons why athletes sign with the school is a relationship with the coach. Zach Swanwick signed with University of Florida. He had a lot of offers, like a lot. And the reason why he signed with University of Florida is because JC, the head coach, flew out to New Zealand and met with him and his family. And they got on. They had dinner together and they said, yep, this is the right connection for me. And that's why he chose the University of Florida. And he's had a really good year there. He's just been named in the SEC team, which is an incredible achievement for him and his family. I spoke to his dad the other day. So you want to make sure that, when you do choose that school, you've got a good relationship with the coach. Now, what happens if that coach decides to leave and a new coach comes in that you don't like? You need to make sure you're in a position that if that is the case and you want to move to a different environment, you've got the ability to do so. And when I mean the ability to do so, you've got good academics behind you at university and you've got good tournament results that can allow you to transition on. Another example is we had this girl called Tina Lee, tennis player. She wanted to go to a good accounting school. So we sent her to Brigham Young University, commonly known as BYU, which was the #1 ranked accountancy program in the country in the United States. She played there for a couple of years and then she phoned me and she goes, just not really finding this could be like the right environment for me after being here. I'm keen for a change. Because she had done so well, her results have improved tennis-wise. She won a lot of tennis matches. We then transferred her and she had a number of options to pick from. She had Clemson University, which is a massive school. If you want to see an awesome American football facility, type in on YouTube, Clemson, Clemson, Clemson American Football Facility. And I think you'll be shocked at how big that facility is. She had an offer from that school and she also had an offer from Florida State, decided to go to Florida State and she's very happy there. So again, you always want to make sure that you're positioning yourself in the right way, that if you feel like you want to change of environment, you can do so. This is what the golf facilities in the US looks like. This is Arizona State. Cool facility. My friend, he's a pro agent. He literally just lives next door to me. He actually went to the school. We've got a water polo player there as well. And we've connected with the golf program when we're going through the stuff with one of our athletes in the past. Phil Mickelson actually built this facility. He designed it. Which is really cool. Obviously, being in Arizona, the ball flies a little bit more when you're above sea level, but an awesome facility. So most colleges have got hitting bays and everything like this. If you've been to the Sir Bob Charles facility in Christchurch, that's kind of a standard of a very probably low-ranked Division 2 program. So just keep that in mind. And then all universities have got a gym on campus. This gym here is only available to student athletes and normal students, I should say. I haven't had enough coffee this morning. Normal students can't get access to this facility. Only athletes on scholarship can get access to this. So they're massive. This is actually Clemson's athletic facility that all the athletes get access to. And also you'll find these little boxes here. There'll be boxes all around. And these boxes have got Gatorades in them. They've got protein shakes in them that athletes can use. It's completely free. You also, part of your scholarship is you get access to all of the recovery treatment, whether it's physio, whether it's Normatec boots that can help recover your legs, etc. If you need needling done, ice baths, saunas, all of that stuff is provided with the scholarship. And then all of your coaching is also taken care of as well. And that's very specialized. So coaches will do private lessons. And quite often what would happen is the coach in America would communicate with your local coach in New Zealand if that's something that you want. So Kevin Smith is a really good friend of mine. He coaches Dan Hillier, and one of his girls, Juliana Vares, that competed at the Olympics for New Zealand, she went to University of Washington, and the head coach Mary Lou there has won so many national championships, had so many girls going to the LPGA tour as well. So I was talking to Mary Lou when she was staying with me in New Zealand, and I said, do you have a good relationship with Kevin? She goes, are you kidding? Every time Julianne is at the range and I'm not too sure what's going wrong with her stroke, I want to change something, I will get Kevin on FaceTime and video Kevin and be like, what do you think? Because it's for my best interest to make sure that Julianne feels that she's fully supported. And I'm not telling her one thing, and a coach in New Zealand is telling her something else. We want to make sure it's a team effort. So they do communicate with your local coaches if that is something that you want. Okay. And then all of your academic support. So all of your academic support is included. So if you need any tutoring or you need to catch up on any assignments because you're traveling all over the place to different states to go compete for your golf team, the athletic department, whether it is the NCAA or the NAIA or the junior college system, they will pay for like tutors to help you through all of your schoolwork going forward. Okay, so that's something that's really cool for a lot of student athletes. Also, your all of your travel is covered but when you're playing and competing for that golf team. So, like guys like Zach, they fly in private jets quite often, but other teams would have their own planes that they park at an airport and they just fly around everywhere, or they can fly at public airports as well. That's also an option too. So you do get to travel quite a bit with your golf. Here's an example of an athletic facility. I've got two examples. The first example is a montage of Division One programs in the US. Now, keep in mind when you're watching this, this is only given to student athletes. So when you see nutrition rooms and stuff like that, athletes on scholarship can get access to them. They don't have to pay for anything. It's all covered. And here is this is a tour of a golf facility, a men's golf facility and a women's golf facility at University of Cincinnati. And this again is only built for the golf team, so no one else can use this. So again, this is when we're talking the NCAA building facilities, like they could spend about 100 to 160 million dollars a year just on the athletics sporting facilities. Oh, let me go back. So every university's got that, especially in a Division 1 setting. At University of Florida, they've actually got this machine that can like change the slopes based on which course or which college they're about to go and compete at. And they'll have videos of drones flying over, different courses, and they'll sit in their big media room and they'll say, okay, this is how we want you to play at this upcoming course. It's honestly insane. It's like a sports athlete's like heaven. It's unbelievable. What's covered in a full scholarship? So your accommodation, tuition, your meal plan, coaching, equipment, gym, nutrition, S&C, which is your strength and conditioning, your tutoring, sports clothing, sports travel, and physio. So everything is covered in a full scholarship. And if you can start the process early, like when we start with athletes, we start with them in year 10. So year 10 or year 11 in high school. If you can start that process early, there's no reason why you can't get that. No reason at all, because our team, we put structure in place for student athletes. It's easy. I've got golf coaches' numbers in this phone. We can call them. That's not a problem. When it's both girls and guys, we had Daniela Barrett that was coached by Marcus Wilhouse. She went to University of Miami. She had 90 offers, 90 full scholarship offers. And then obviously Zach had a lot as well. So it's not the connection point. It's just making sure the CV is at a certain standard that we could present that to the coach. And every university has got slightly different requirements based on male and female. So if you want to do that, you better book in with me ASAP so I can fill you guys in on that. Academics, so GPA is really important. So in New Zealand, we've got achieved, merit, and excellence. If you get an achieved, it's a 2.0, merit is a 3.0, excellence is a 4.0. If you're doing Cambridge, obviously it's done throughout a percentage. So what you're really looking for, guys, is getting a 3.5 out of 4. If you can get a 3.5 throughout as an average throughout your entire high school career, you're going to position yourself in a place where the coach can offer you academic scholarships, and that is a really good thing. If I'm a college coach and my school costs $60,000 to go to for 1 year, that covers tuition, accommodation, food, and all the golf expenses, and I got 2 athletes, but one athlete can qualify for $15,000 academically, I'm probably going to go for that person over the other one that can't, because I can save some of my golf budget and put, they can get 15 grand in academic scholarships, and then they can get 45,000 in golf scholarships totaling 60 grand. So I'll save $15,000 of my golf budget that I can use for other people. So there's a reason why when you look online and you type NCAA, it says student athlete, not athlete student. Student always comes first. Academics are a massive thing, and it can be guaranteed for 4 years as well, which really helps, especially if you want to go to the top academic schools like Stanford. We had Conrad, the coach at Stanford, say, the GPA needs to be very high to get into our program. And quite often you will see colleges post that, the men's golf GPA, team GPA is a 3.8. The men's soccer GPA is a 3.4. So they've calculated all the GPAs throughout their entire team, and they compete against each other. And some universities incentivize coaches and say, if your college team has got a high GPA, then we'll give you X amount of dollars that you can spend on any event that you want. So if a coach is really competitive, they're not going to sign an athlete that's good at golf with very low grades. You have to be very good academically as well. The SAT used to be compulsory in America. It is not compulsory anymore. However, it's a very good thing to do because, some universities still use the SAT when they are awarding academic scholarships to student athletes, especially at the high-level schools. I had a mate of mine, he coaches at Dartmouth, the Ivy League, and even he said, I highly encourage a lot of athletes to do the SAT. If you want to have a look at doing the SAT, you can visit College Board. There's a lot of practice tests online, or you could go to Khan Academy down here, and you can also practice those SATs. If you've got Chat GPT, you can say, give me a quick test on the SAT of what kind of types of content is going to be tested this year. It actually builds it out for you. It's a very cool tool to use, as you guys all know. But the SAT, best time to do it would be mainly your second to last year in high school would be a good time to do it, because by that time you would have learnt most of the content. And if you do bad in the SAT, which is a 3-hour exam, just under 3 hours now because it's online, out of 1,600 marks, 2 sections, mathematics, and then reading and comprehension. If you don't do well in the SAT, the American colleges won't know it. They only will know it if you send it to them. So you can do it as many times as you want, which is why it's a really good thing to do. And I think each SAT is around $110. New Zealand is about 60 USD plus a booking fee. So yeah, it's about 110, 120. So yeah, it's not that expensive, and it's a good test to do for sure. Let's build your pathway. So every person's a little bit different. So if I wanted to go to tennis, if I wanted to go to tennis, if I wanted to go to America to play tennis, my four important things would be number one for me would be the sport would be number one for me. Because why? Because I wanted to be a pro tennis player, and I wanted to find a college that had good teammates that had the same goal as me. You are a product of your environment, so it's important to have like-minded individuals. A good tournament structure as well. Number two for me would be location. Being a tennis player, I wouldn't want to be playing in the cold. I want it to be somewhere warm. Number three for me would be academics. And then number four for me would be cost. As long as the academics, location, and the sport are top three to help me become a better tennis player, I wouldn't mind me paying something. But sometimes we get people saying cost is number one, academics is number two, sport is number three, location is number four. So when you are looking at different schools in America, look at your four pillars of college recruitment: cost, sport, location, academics. Sit down as a family and say, what is your priority order? Are you willing to pay a lot of money to go to a high rank program? Or are you wanting to sacrifice a location to go to a school that can give you a full scholarship that might not be close to a beach? You've really got to tailor it to you. So when we work with athletes, we always make sure that we try and build their college pathway and finding their right fit. How we support the journey, we've had lots of athletes go to the US and compete. This is Henry over here competing in Florida, in Texas. This is Marco from Lebanon. This is Tina that went to BYU. Milo is a tennis player from Wellington. He's now working for a private equity firm in San Diego. This is Finn. He's a Division One college tennis player that's currently at a school in New York right now playing tennis. He's doing very well. Our track record, we've had over 2,000 athletes, secured over 200 million plus scholarships as a team. We work in 15 different countries as well. So we've got clients from Lebanon, Czech Republic, France, England, India, etc., that we are currently working with and sending to the US, which has been really cool. Our team is quite big. So we got myself, William, who's based in the Australian office. Natasha was an All-American. She swam at Auburn University as a swimmer. She broke New Zealand records. Sammy works with me in the Auckland office. She's our female support person. She works with all of our student athletes on their academics. She went to University of Iowa on a full scholarship, which is a top 15 ranked program in the country. She also was a New Zealand Fern, which is our New Zealand women's national team. We've got Mac and Josh. They're both Canadian. They're based in the Australian office with William. Both of them competed at the highest level in the NCAA. Josh, as a soccer player, he had the most games in the program history. Andrew Dobby is from Melbourne. He went to America to play American football and had a great experience there. Joseph is based in Perth. He's played soccer over in the US as well. Jack Salt's from New Zealand. He's the only New Zealander to win an NCAA Division I basketball championship. He was playing for the New Zealand Tall Blacks at 17 years old. This is Carly. Carly is a rower from Cal Berkeley, and she also rowed at SMU. Carly's dad was a college coach for 21 years at Cal Berkeley as well. This is Tamara. She's our full-time support person as well. She's based in Christchurch. She's a track and field athlete that went on a full scholarship to a Division I school, and then she actually transferred universities and went to another Division I school. This is Victor. He's based in England. He went to a Division I school for tennis, did very, very well. And this is Pamela Saville. You would probably have seen her. She's our operations manager working with us full-time. I approached Pamela and I said, I think what she does in the golf community is amazing. And we need someone that would be willing to grow what we're trying to do and create more golf events for student athletes and more tours. And she's been brilliant. So she's now working with our entire team, which is fantastic. And we also work with a lot of elite sporting coaches throughout New Zealand, etc., and a lot of high schools. So a lot of these people here trust us to place their student athletes in college, including schools like Scots College, New Plymouth Boys High, etc. And we're really proud that we've got really awesome testimonials as well. But this is our why. We want to make sure that we remain very closely connected with our student athletes and families, where it's not just we place you at college and you're away. That's it. We want to make sure that we can support you throughout your entire years when you're in America. When you come back, if there's anything that you need, you let me know. This is Dylan over here. I placed him at UC Davis, which is a top 30 Division I ranked program in California. It's part of the UC schools. And this is him after he had graduated. I had a corporate table in Wellington at the Wellington Tennis Open, and I invited my family. I invited Kevin Smith, the golf coach in Wellington that coached Dan Hillier, and I invited Dylan. We still remain very, very close friends post college as well, and we remain good friends with families as well. And that's our why. That's what we do. So in our program, we have got only a certain amount of athletes that we take in because we've got, obviously, you saw, we don't have hundreds of staff members. We've got limited staff members, and we are not wanting to work with quantity. We're wanting to work with like really quality individuals that are super hardworking. I know there's a few of you in here right now that we're working with right now, and you know exactly what I mean. We put a lot of hours into this. So if you want to work with us, what I highly suggest you do is click that meeting link and book a meeting with me, and we can see if we're the right fit for each other. And what we can do is figure out your situation. And we got a number of different packages for student athletes. This ranges from 2,000 New Zealand dollars up to 7,800 New Zealand dollars. So it's nothing crazy. But again, we're very selective in our process because if we are working with student athletes, yes, we're paid by the athlete, but we owe a duty to the college coaches that we're giving them good people. And we need to make sure that we can actually come through for you as well. It's really important that we don't oversell or underdeliver. Otherwise, I don't get to work with guys like Marcus Wheelhouse or Kevin Smith or schools like Scots or Westlake Boys High. If I do a poor job, I want to make sure that I can come through for you guys. Platforms, values is honesty and transparency. Those are the two most important things. So if that's something that interests you, you can click that link and book a meeting with me. We can take the next step from there. Otherwise, guys, I hope you guys had a fantastic day and or fantastic time listening to this, and have a fantastic day this afternoon. And I'll send you guys an email. When I sent you an email, my cell phone number's at the bottom, so you can feel free to call me anytime if you've got any questions. But apart from that, I will leave that with you. And yeah, thank you so much for joining today. Appreciate it.